Hi, I'm Reverend Bob Lewis, pastor of Lakewood United Methodist Church here in Erie, Pennsylvania. I'm pleased to be able to introduce to you several of the key leaders of our congregation. They're here today to tell you about the important ministry in which they are engaged. In a few short minutes, each of them will tell you who they are, which ministry they help to lead, what that ministry team does, and why you might want to consider becoming a part of this vital ministry. We hope that you find these presentations both interesting and informative. And if you're already a member of Lakewood, please know that we are always interested in helping people to discover their spiritual gifts and then plug them into the ministry area that best suits them. So, if upon hearing one of these short talks you feel inspired or led to volunteer your time and energy to help serve on that ministry team, we really hope that you'll get in touch with the church, and we'll do our best to help you get connected. So thanks for watching, take care, and God bless you as you serve the Lord using your time, talent, and treasure.
My name is Maria Spiker, and I'm the chairperson for our health ministry team here at Lakewood. Our goal is to support all the ways that we can strengthen our body, mind, and spirit. We provide resources for various health needs among members in our congregation. In addition, we have some outreach, such as Produce Express, where we help people in the community get food. We serve about 120 families each week at the Second Harvest Food Bank. We also provide backpacks for our students at Tracy School, and currently we are packing around 80 bags per week for our students. We also provide some grief support through Journey Through Grief booklets, which are sent to families after they've had a loss of a family member. In addition, we have exercise classes led by Pam Anthony and a yoga class led by Valerie Balzar. We also provide resources as far as what people might need after surgery or during rehab. So if you have some of those concerns, you can always call us. In addition, we are available to help with getting you to a doctor's appointment, provide transportation for other medical needs. So if you have a gift for caring for people, you want to help in meeting basic needs, just nurturing our congregation, this would be a committee where we'd love to have you. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Pam Anthony, and I have been blessed to be Lakewood's Christian Education Director since 2012. Our Sunday morning hour is called Sunday Morning Live or Live with Jesus. This is an hour to know Christ, to become like Christ, and to share Christ. Our classes range from preschool to first grade, 2nd through 4th grade, 5th through 7th grade, and 8th through young Lakewoodian adults. This is a concept that is coming soon, and it's going to be called Cafe J13. And of course, we do have our adult classes. We presently have 8 leaders and 12 substitutes. If you feel led to support Lakewood's vision by helping people discover, experience, and know the love of Jesus Christ.
Hello, my name is Hal Kendall. I'm involved with the Staff Parish Relations Committee, better known as SPRC. SPRC is a behind-the-scenes group. Our main responsibility is trying to ensure that everyone is happy. So what does that really mean? We're employee relations. We hire for the open positions, we do evaluations, we do salary or pay actions. In addition, we're the liaison between the church staff and the congregation. Should there be a conflict of personalities, say between 2 staff members, or between staff and somebody in the congregation, or somebody in the congregation and staff, Then it would be SPRC that would get called in to help mediate that situation and try to come to an agreeable solution. Fortunately, there really haven't been any of those sort of situations over the last few years. The other thing that we're involved with is we're the liaison between Lakewood as a church and the Methodist district. So we fill out evaluations, conference charge reviews, or charge conference reviews, that sort of thing. Lakewood has, of course, Pastor Bob, and then 8 part-time employees and 2 contract positions. It takes a lot of effort to keep Lakewood running. So we'd love for you to think about volunteering for any of these positions. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. All of my information is in the church directory, and I'd be happy to tell you more detail about SPRC.
Hi, my name is Debbie Bisbee, and I am a co-president of the Lakewood United Methodist Women, shortened to UMW formally. We also call ourselves LOL, which stands for Ladies of Lakewood, and in our hearts and minds also lots of laughter and lots of love. So if you are a female member of the United Methodist Church, then you're automatically a member of the United Methodist Women. We are heavily focused on missions for the church and community as well as the world. We do this through various fundraising activities. The only one we were able to pull off this year was the Romelo's candy sale around Easter, which was heavily supported, and we did raise quite a bit of money. We will share those profits with our church as well as with several mission projects. One that's very local and very dear to our hearts is the Erie United Methodist Alliance. We also have usually, not this year, but usually 2 huge rummage sales, best in the world, and we are our own best customers to that quite often. We were really sorry we couldn't have those this year, but hope to next year. Typically, we would have those rummage sales, which run 3 days in June and in August. We also have a preschool teacher appreciation luncheon for our preschool teachers. We usually host a Sunday supper at least once a year in the community. And we have preparation for Christmas by our Advent by Candlelight ceremony, where we reflect and prepare our hearts and minds for the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. We have a community Baptist church relationship and a relationship with the ladies of the Westminster Church too. So hopefully this year we will be able to in some way have our Advent by Candlelight. So if any of you aren't sure how you'd like to get more active in United Methodist Women, feel free to give me a call, or Barb Moore, our co-president, with me. We have our current treasurer, Jackie Garnon, and secretary, Sharon Swanson. So if you're not familiar and would like to come to one of our meetings, feel free to contact us. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Roberta. I'm your worship committee chairperson here at Lakewood. As the name says, we handle all aspects of worship. Every person is seeking volunteers to help with all the components. So I'm just going to go over those components and you'll know who and what we do here at Lakewood for worship. So when you enter the church, you are welcomed by greeters. Greeters ask or answer any questions that you might have related to where's the nursery or where's the sanctuary. As you move up the stairs to the sanctuary, the ushers will welcome you in. They will hand you a bulletin. They will take care of collecting the offering, usher during communion, and also gather the children for the children's sermon. As you enter into the sanctuary and you hear the beautiful music, the organist is part of the worship committee. She works with the music director, who directs the bell choir and the chancel choir, and as well as works with his wife with special music, and works with the pastor in what hymns we're going to sing every Sunday and whether there's other special music needed. And behind me, the altar, you will see the candles, the banners. Sometimes we have special flowers for Easter and Christmas, and those all have to be arranged. The florist doesn't come in and do that, so those are all handled by the altar guild. To my left is the video projection, and somebody has to put the slides together every week for service, as well as project the video and make sure the sound is right, including the microphones that we use, and that's handled by the video and sound technicians. So also, as you're sitting there in service, you'll look up sometimes and see the communion kneelers. So we have communion stewards who handle all aspects of communion and work with the team as to when communion will be served, how it will be served, and whether they have all the supplies needed and people to serve it. And let's see, as you're sitting there as well, I didn't forget, the pastor walks into the worship, and he's an integral part. He's on the committee, as well as the lay liturgist. The lay liturgist will read the first lesson, also guide us in some prayer and responses, and welcome the children forward. And speaking of the children's sermon, the puppets are sometimes provide that. They're also part of the worship committee. In addition to those people who handle those roles, we also have at-large members who handle not one specific thing, but kind of overall look at the service and determine what things we can enhance, and hear questions and comments from the congregation, and bring that back to the worship committee.
Greetings, I'm Chris Paul. I'm the chair of the missions committee here at Lakewood Church. And what do? We coordinate the mission activities of the church. Not all of them, but many of them. Like what, you ask? Well, one of the things we do is we coordinate volunteers for the overflow shelter in the winter, the Erie City Mission to help prepare and serve food. So those are two of the things that we have done. We also collect and organize materials for different types of kits to benefit the United Methodist Committee on Relief, UMCOR. So at times we'll collect things for hygiene kits, flood buckets, that type of thing. And then we get them together and make sure that they get to where they're supposed to go to help others in need. We also help with fundraising activities of other mission groups, in particular the Erie United Methodist Alliance, UMA. So we would help do fundraising through things like the Walk for a Healthy Community, the Right for Refuge, and those types of things throughout the year. We also help coordinate our annual crop walk involvement. So we solicit volunteers and get donations for that to help fund that worthy activity. We are always open for new faces and fresh ideas if you would like to be part of the missions committee. There's so much we can do. We are just limited in what we can do sometimes with the people involved. So we would always need more help. And I thank the congregation for the support, and have a good day.
I'm Jackie Bull, and I'm here to represent the Outreach Committee. This committee is a group of people with big hearts. We reach out to the community to let people know that Lakewood United Methodist Church cares about them. Our group looks for ways in which we can meet people where they are and let them know that God loves them. We do different ministries, such as Thanks for Popping In, and that's where we let people know that we're glad they came to church one day. We do the laundry ministry, where we help people pay for their laundry just as a gift. There's the party in the park, which is just to bring the community together. And we also have the Fellowship Cafe, which is a monthly event with music and coffee just to get together and have fun. We do the Halloween treats in the carport, where we allow children to walk through and get candy from our cars. We would be happy to welcome any other Lakewoodians or members of the community who would like to join our outreach committee. We are looking for simple but effective ways to reach outside of Lakewood and to reach inside Lakewood, letting people know that God loves them.
Hello, I'm Chris Tolbert. I am Church Council Chair. Church Council, according to the Book of Discipline, is to provide for planning and implementing a program of nurture, outreach, witness, and resources to the local church. The council consists of each of the chairs of all the committees, the pastor, the lay leader, me, the church council chair, a few of the members of the congregation that are not committee chairs that we call members at large. We are expected to attend charge conference every year. where we vote to approve the budget, the staff salaries, recertify any lay speakers or candidates for ministry. We have an annual planning meeting every year, usually in November on a Saturday morning for about 3 hours. Normally it includes food. Then the next 3 hours or so, we brainstorm and come up with some ideas for our goals for our church for the year. We also discuss and vote on, if required, items such as special requests for donations or offerings to other organizations. We plan things like our church picnic, the soup luncheons that we've been having, and where to send the donations to. We've also discussed the capital campaign and these My Lakewood videos that we've seen in the past. The council meets once a month on the third Wednesday for about an hour and a half. Usually we review our progress on our goals for the year, just to stay on track, talk about any old business we might have, hear highlights from the different committees from their monthly meetings, and discuss any new business. We do normally take off the months of June and July, so if any of this sounds interesting to anyone and you would like to join our committee, please contact me or Pastor Bob, and thank you so much for your support.
Hi, my name's Ann Dill, and I'm currently the chairperson for the Trustees Committee. So what does a trustee do? Trustees supervise and maintain the property owned by our congregation. Lakewood actually has 3 properties: the church, the rental house on Oakmont, and Pastor Bob's house on Rondeau. Trustees receive and administer all gifts made to the congregation, such as memorials. They supervise the use of scholarship funds for summer camp and college scholarships. They do an annual review of the property insurance coverage on the church. They do an annual accessibility audit of buildings and grounds to work to eliminate barriers for people with disabilities. Trustees are responsible for the oversight of any capital improvement programs the church decides to undertake. Past projects were Fellowship Hall, the renovations upstairs in the office, library, and hallway, and currently we are remodeling the nursery. Who should be a trustee? Someone who is interested in keeping Lakewood properties in the best shape that the budget will allow. Someone who is willing to help with upkeep of the grounds, like weeding and raking, maybe painting, getting quotes from vendors for repairs or remodeling. Someone with repair skills, like maybe fixing a leaky faucet. So far this year, trustees have cleaned the church grounds, replaced all the batteries and the smoke alarms, replaced a screen in a window, developed rules for the use of the building amid the COVID-19 crisis, contracted with a company to seal the parking lot, added an additional accessible parking space, worked with a scout troop to create a flower garden around the gas well, approved a camping scholarship from a child from our congregation, worked with the voters registration to open the building for elections, called an exterminator for ground bees, called a plumber when there was a leak, bought a rug cleaner, examined the parsonage for repairs, hired a contractor to remodel the nursery. This isn't the entire list, but I think it gives you an idea of what trustees are responsible for. I hope if you're called by the nominating committee that you will consider being on trustees. They meet on the 3rd Thursday of the month at 6:30, and meetings last about an hour and a half. Thank you.